But I don't like the phone, said the sales consultant, struggling to meet quota. The truth is, the difference between top and bottom performers isn't this much, it's only this much. But top performers are this much better at everything. This much better at greeting, this much better at interviewing, this much better at follow-up. If you're watching this course, then you've already taken the first step toward becoming this much better, because it starts with an understanding that there's room for improvement. Ready to go? I'm John Quaddy, the 5-Minute Coach. I was doing a phone training class at a dealership just outside of Chicago, and Tony was a brand new sales consultant after having worked in the service department for many years. Tony said he needed to hit the ground running. Because my wife will kill me if I don't do well. I'm sure he meant that figuratively, pretty sure. Incidentally, that was an amazing impression of Tony. In the class, I was reviewing phone scripts, and at the end, Tony approached me and asked, "So if I just read those scripts, people are going to set appointments with me, right?" I said, "I've never seen anything that works better, Tony." He said, "Okay." Well, the next week I listened to his calls, and I couldn't believe it. He was reading the scripts word for word. "The reason for my call is to thank you again for your business. Have you been showing off your new truck?" Yes, Tony sounded a little like a famous cookie lover, but it worked. He was setting appointments right and left and couldn't have been happier when I checked in with him. "I sold 5 cars this week, all to people from the phone." While I can't promise you'll instantly have Tony's level of success, using phone scripts to guide you will ensure you lead the conversation and don't skip steps on your way to asking for appointments. So let's get started. In the downloadable handouts for this course, you'll see a number of outbound call scripts. So no matter what type of call you're making, you'll have an individual script you can just put in front of you, even though the calls have a lot of commonalities. In fact, if you're good at one of the calls, you're going to be good at the others too, since really the only thing that changes from one to the next is the reason for the call. Let's take a look first at the Orphan owner's call, and as a reminder from the Outbound Call Strategy course, an orphan is someone who has bought a vehicle at your dealership, but whose salesperson is no longer employed there. The call begins with you confirming you're speaking to the correct party. I'm generally comfortable asking for people by first name, but use your own best judgment. "Hi Alex, it's John from Quaddy Motors. The reason for my call is the salesperson you bought your car from is no longer here, but we wanted to let you know that you have someone to help you if you ever need it. That's me. Do you still own that vehicle?" From there, you move to identifying any other family vehicles they own and offering to assist them in finding what they want whenever they're in the market for a vehicle next. Now, of course, be sure to take notes because a lot of these folks will be relatively conversational since they've done business with the dealership before. If you can identify approximately when they'll be in the market for a vehicle next, you'll be able to figure out when to follow up with them. Ta-da! Future business opportunity. There's also a section near the end of the call where you may ask for referrals, but in my opinion, that's completely optional and just for those times when you really hit it off with the client. Again, it's up to you and your managers, of course, but generally speaking, it's better to earn a referral before asking for it. And finally, finish the call for the customer's benefit, thanking them again for their business, and then letting them know to contact you if they ever need anything. It's also a great time to offer to send them a text with your contact information. The reason you want to end in an especially nice way is because of recency, which states whatever happens last is what customers remember most. So make sure they have a nice memory of your call, and they'll be much more likely to take calls from you in the future. The other calls you'll find in the Outbound Call download packet are for calling owners, referrals, service customers, showroom customers, and more. Check them all out and be sure to hit me up if you have any questions. Okay, here are our KLPs or key learning points for this course. Number 1, Phone scripts are designed to help you control conversations and stay on track, so use them. Number 2, always give the customer a concise reason for the call. Number 3, identify family vehicles and include them in your follow-up rotation. Number 4, asking for referrals in outbound calls is optional. And number 5, always finish the call for the customer's benefit because of recency. And that is it for this episode of the 5-Minute Coach. I'm John Quatty.